What are you saying?
Registered in for the class. Like, what I'm supposed to say?
One second, I got y'all. I'll help you out, all right? What, so like, you trying to come up here? Once again, I'm kind of speed this up.
Yeah, you can't really speed it. And when you come up here, you probably have to.
No, it's fine. I'll call you up. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right? No sweat. Slightly. One step. Go ahead and blow that. All right. I'll talk to you in a second, all right? If you guys got a Facebook or YouTube, definitely share the content. That's well. All right, you just want to grab the scrolls?
Module, one I get down, right to face the east is this way.
Now, everybody that's in the room, I need y'all to face the east, all right? Yakudash,
It be that way.
All right, here you go, brother. All right. I'll put the numbers up. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Yakudash, come here real quick. 1 step forward. I'm sorry. It's like I'm going to turn this way, face this way real quick. So I want you to speak your registry.
Yakudash Banga Yashiala, Yakudash Banga, Yakudash Banga Yashiala.
You want to say Yakudash?
Yakudash
Banga
Banyashiala.
There you go. Say Yakudash.
Yakudash Banga Banyashiala.
Yashala. And then you want to salute us.
Shalom Yahabashim Shabbat.
No, you want to give Elijah Shabbat, Elijah, and salute.
Barak.
You want to salute us.
Shalom Yahabashim Shalom Yahabashim.
Alright, no sweat. So we want to say his name. Yakudash, Ban Yashala. And then of course we do Elijah Shabbat. Elijah. You can pass those scrolls to him. And let's get into the prayers. Let's face the east. All right. Go ahead and grab those prayers. Yeah, let's go.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abinah. Bashamayim. Dash. Manasai. Abba. Shana. Mayan. Ra'ah. Laka. Malakwa. Wa'ala. Wa'atapar. Walayim. Aman.
You pass it over here to me. The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. This is day. Our daily bread. Forgive our debts. Forgive our debtors. Lead us not to temptation. Deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Amen.
Psalms chapter 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayenu. Alahari. Mayan. Azariah. Ayin. Hawa. Shah. Mayim. Barakah. Al-Yatan. Wat. Gawaka. Al-Yanawan. Marka. Na. Wam. Yesham. Mar. Hawa. Marka. Hawa. Zalka. Yamyanka. Yamwam. Hashimash. Yakaka. Wayarak. Wayala. Hawa. Hashimarka. Kal. Hashimar. Akupashka. Hawa. Hashimar. Azaka. Mabawaka. Yaka. Why? I will.
No sweat. Psalms 121 in the English. I lift up my eyes to the hill. From whence comes my help? My help comes from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel.
Prayer for the Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Bashim Yahweh. Kalmakala.
The power in the English, Yahweh. In the name Yahweh, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. All manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Prayer for the blessing of Israel. In the Hebrew. Yahweh. Bashim Yahweh. Rocking out. SHALAM. Pardon. Rock. Gun. Say the name of loved ones once. Everyone repeats the name once.
So let me go first because a brother that we need to pray for just came out a message. Give me a second here. Officer Ashkawar. Say that one more time. Officer Ashkawar. Yahweh. Rawam. Ramak. Kwanwa'or. Rapaya Allah. Raya. Nicole Clinton. Saharazan. I.S.U.P.K. Minneapolis. Fadasayan. Funayala. Yakudash. Kanagabar. Tarak. Akaya. Satar Yala. Shagar Ariyah. Tawala. Amangabar. Say it again. Kabadabar. Bakar. Cliff. Tim.
All the sisters.
Pray for my brother. All the brothers in Stillwater, country facilities.
All the brothers in Stillwater.
The school. The brothers, the officers. Troopers. And the generals.
Captains. Go ahead, Tarak.
Little Kapash. Captain Kapash. Dog destroyed Israel. By Hashem Yahweh. The water among.
Bless Israel in English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh. Bless us in Israel. In the schools. Bless still should protect. Loved ones. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Psalms chapter 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Abdamayah. Ka. Abdakarash. Al-Tashaqat. GEN.YAHANNA. I.S.U.P.K. Yaham. One. Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Yaryama. Sabbath. Yatazawa. Al-Tazabupanta. Amara. Lakawa. Wanakidam. Yawi. La'a. Zakar. Sham. Yashala. Nawat. Ya. Nantazawa. Nabba. Yakada. Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Baria,
Maria,
Yakaraku,
Yakaraku,
Ali,
Ayala,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Yashama,
I.S.U.P.K,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawaga,
Ruan,
Wagard,
Magard,
Ba,
Ram,
Aimu,
Ram,
Aimalak,
Amalat,
Shah,
Alasha,
Ain,
Ayam,
Shabu,
Shabu,
Wa,
Tazwa,
Dam,
Gayam,
Ashawa,
Ashur,
Nalau,
Lala,
Imam,
Amam,
Hayawa,
Hawa,
Zarwa,
Azara,
Abanya,
Abanya,
Wat,
Malak,
Selah,
Salah,
Asha,
Asha,
Laham,
Laham,
Maya,
Maya,
Kasiyasura,
Kazasura,
Kayagi,
Kayago,
Manakal,
Manako,
Kayaswan,
Kayasu,
Nashamaga,
Nashamaga,
Bayan Dar,
Bayana,
Hayawa,
Hayago,
Yaman,
Lawan,
Ladam,
Lanam,
Chatham,
Shadam,
Da,
Da,
Ya,
Ya,
Mau,
Ma,
Ora,
Kara,
Wakaza Abba,
Masaka Abu,
Wakaza Ba,
Masaka,
Wakaza Zal,
Makazazal,
Nai,
Anai,
Call,
Kal,
Nasiyakamu,
Masakamu,
Ashar,
Asha,
Amara,
Amara,
Narasha,
Narashi,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ah, Nawa,
Nawa,
Alahai,
Alahai,
Lahaya,
Ahayan,
Chatham,
Shadamu,
Galka,
Gav,
Kwash,
Makaras,
Panya,
Napanya,
Maka'a,
Naka'a,
Ash,
Gash,
Darabar,
Narbar,
Yara,
Yar,
Wakalahaba,
Nakahal,
Dalahat,
Dalahat,
Hari,
Hari,
Khan,
Khan,
Dardak,
Mandat,
Basaraka,
Baswara,
Babasa,
Abbas,
Paka,
Basi,
Tabalahala,
Dalahal,
La'a,
Alaha,
Panya,
Panya,
Kalawan,
Kalawan,
Wabakasha,
Alakasha,
Ka,
Suka,
Yahawa,
Yahal,
Bashwa,
Bashi,
Wa Abawa,
Ma'abal,
Adia,
Ayin,
Ai,
Ay,
Wakapawa,
Wakal,
Wa Abadwa,
Abal,
Wa Dawa,
Adal,
Kayata,
Kayaka,
Ka,
Ka,
Yahawa,
Yahal,
Labaka,
Nabaka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Ka,
Ka,
Maharakaza,
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
God,
God,
hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still.
Be not still.
Oh God,
of God,
for lo,
for lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
let me make a tongue,
They that hate thee
They that hate thee.
have lifted up the head.
lift up the head,
They have taken crafty counsel
Take a
against thy people,
against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said,
have said,
Come,
come,
let's cut them off to be the nation.
Let's come off the nation.
In the name of Israel,
the name of
may
Israel,
be no more in
We
remembrance.
don't want to remember.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They have confederate against thee.
that the friend against
The
thee,
Tabernacles of Edom,
tabernacle
and the Ishmaelites,
the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
the Moab,
the Garians,
the Garians,
Cabal,
Cabal,
Ammon,
Ammon,
Amalek,
Amalek.
the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre,
Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre.
so also was joined with
So
them,
also was going with them.
that hope the children of Lot,
Hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Lot.
doing to them as unto the Midianites,
Going to them as the Midianites.
as to Sisera,
As the sisters.
as to Jabin,
As the men.
as the brook of Kisan,
Brook of Kisan.
which parents had endured.
Where's the end?
They became as dung for the earth,
Come is done for the earth.
made the nobles like Ord,
Make them almost like a river.
and like Zedek,
Like they.
yea,
Yea.
are the princes as Sabbath,
Amongst princes.
and as the moon,
And as the moon.
who said,
Say,
let's take to ourselves the house of God in possession.
let's take the house of the house of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God.
make it like a wheel,
Make it like a wheel.
as stubble before the wind,
Stubble for the wind.
as fire burneth the wood,
Fire burns the wood.
as flames set the mountain on fire.
Fire is linked with the mountain of
So
fire.
persecute them with thy tempest,
First you put that
and
tent.
make them afraid with thy storm.
Make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill the faces with shame.
Put the face of
Let
shame.
me seek thy name.
Then if you sing thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord.
let it be confounded
Let them be
in
confounded.
trouble
In trouble.
forever.
Forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let it be put to shame
Let them be put to shame.
and perish,
Perish.
that men may know that thou,
And we know
whose
that
name alone is Yahweh,
the name of the Lord is Yahweh. And it's true.
he was the curses,
And he was
the
cursed.
destruction
To
to the heathen,
the
and
heathen.
shake loose the treasures
Shake loose the
of the
treasures.
rich of Israel,
Which is
and
wisdom.
refuse to give to the school,
And refuse to give them the
towards
school.
the riches,
With the riches.
against thy sanctuary,
Into thy sanctuary.
he was the curses,
He was
the
the curse.
punishment and destruction
To the destruction.
to the Edomites,
To the Edomites.
and the nations,
The nations.
and their drug
And
dealers,
drug dealers.
court system,
Court system.
prison system,
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood,
Parenthood.
all the governments of our
All the
enemies,
governments of our enemies.
everlasting gods and
All the
armies,
governments of our
the
enemies.
Catholic Church,
All the church.
the Pope,
Pope.
Islam,
Islam.
Christianity,
Christianity.
Egyptology,
Egyptology.
militia,
Militia.
Ku Klux
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation.
skinheads,
Skinheads.
Cosmopolitans, the gay movement,
Gay movement.
the lesbian
Lesbian
movement, spies,
Spies.
workers of witchcraft,
Workers of witchcraft.
that's the space program,
That's the big one.
Army,
Army.
Navy,
Navy.
Air Force,
Air Force.
Marines,
Marines.
Wall Street,
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the
And
internet.
the airwaves.
Yeah.
Give access channel.
Give access.
And the radio channel.
Radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any thy people.
Convict the spirit of any thy people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction.
Bring swift
To
destruction.
all the heathens.
All the
That
heathens.
stand in the way.
Stand in the way.
Try to stop us.
Try to stop us.
Broadcast your word.
Broadcast your word.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Raise all the plagues.
Raise all the
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
To the earth and consume them.
The earth and consume them.
Let the plague shake the house of thief.
The plague shake the house of
And the
thief.
murder.
And the murder.
Let Yahweh
Yahweh Shai.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Down with flying saucers.
Down with flying
What is
saucers.
all the heathens?
What is all the
Come
heathens?
against us.
Come
As
against
we
us.
speak thy word.
As we speak thy
Cause
word.
to know of our own.
Cause to know of our own.
And it is the angels that have done
Yes, it is the angels that
it.
have
Cause it to spread through the media.
Cause them to spread in the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Name Yahweh Shai.
Name Yahweh Shai.
You always.
You always.
So be.
So be it.
Sorry, basically. Put it down. Yep. That way, that's correct. Second priest, want to grab a horn. Next one, I want you to sorry this turn, facing me. I'm gonna grab this. Just that hand. You wanna have that hand on your chest. You wanna salute me. Yahweh Shem Yahweh
Shalom Alaikum.
Right next to it, sorry. You wanna drink it. Before you drink it, La Yashala, raise it up.
La Yashala.
That means to Israel. Go ahead and drink it. Actually, I want you to back it up a little bit. So move it back a little bit more and have it down. No, which one? You want to tell me where it used to be at.
Right. And,
Is that right?
Raise it up a little bit more.
and
Turn it this way a little bit.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse.
It's like this way, my bad.
Ecclesiastes.
A little bit more.
Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes.
Right there. Boom. Perfect. The water. I appreciate it.
Yes. Ecclesiastes.
Oh.
Ecclesiastes. You said 71?
11. Yeah. Ecclesiastes 11. All right, so of course, the Sabbath service, we are going to get into Ecclesiastes, the 11th chapter, and we are going to read 7 verses. Just bear with us for a moment. Now, of course, you know that everything is right to left.
Yeah.
And so you know how to read it, right?
Yeah.
That's what. You want to go ahead and take your time. You want to follow out the verse, so like the book, the chapter, and the verse. Take your time. Take your time.
Ecclesiastes 11:1. Sure. This is part.
And it's like
Shapan. Yeah, because I ain't this long time. Shapan.
Take your time. Be confident.
Yeah, break it down like when you get 4 characters. Break it down 2 and 2. You know, like there'll be Laka, and then the rest will be Mock. Right. Right.
Okay.
Then that'll help you out. If you get 5 characters, break it down 2 and 3 or 3 and 2. Okay, if you get like 5 characters, you know, it's making a word.
Yeah.
Break it down 2 and 3 or 3 and 2.
Okay.
Try to run all 5. That's how, you know,
Okay.
people mess up and everything. So, you know, just break it down, you know. You can break it into, you know, kind of make it into segments.
Wait. Atazah. Atazah.
It'll just be ow.
Cut.
Right there.
Ow.
The first 2 It's got a hyphen.
I.S.U.P.K. Okay, let me slow down. Calm
Yeah,
down.
take
Calm
your
down.
time, man.
Yeah, it's too
But-
bad. Just sound it out.
Balka. No, Baba.
Be Barab.
Barab.
Right.
This is
With the raw sound in the middle.
this.
Yeah, that's Ba, Ra, and then Ba.
Baraba.
Be Barab.
Barab.
Yeah, that's how it would be.
Okay.
Right.
Hi. Mayam.
Just Hayam. Break
Hayam.
it down 3 and 2. Hayam.
Hayam. Okay.
Then Yum.
Yum. Yum.
Hayam.
Taza. Oh, Yahweh. Yum. 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 Taza.
Hayam. Yum.
Yum.
So that'll be.
Hana.
Now you got a hard one at the end.
This is.
Remember the okay, you have 6 characters in this.
Okay.
So now either you got the choice breaking it down 2, 2, and 2, or break it down 3 and 3, you know.
Okay. Come.
Ma.
Tama.
Okay. Ma down. Taza. This would be the Taza right there.
Tazawa.
Nawa. Atazawa. You was close.
Atazawa.
Okay, you was close.
Okay, these.
So like, what is that again?
This is the last one in verse 1.
Okay, the
No, I'm saying like, what's the word?
Oh, stop. Okay, we stop.
I heard not to Zawa. That's what it sounded like.
Right. Not to. Okay.
Is it Naitaza?
Okay, it's I got
Zawa.
Dama to Za.
Caucus.
Nawa.
Okay, that's what. The reason why I said that is because that's in Psalms 83.
Yeah, it's a Nawa because that's a Na right there and then the Wa.
Caucus. Okay. Caucus. No. Caucus.
Okay, where you at? You call out the verse, boy.
Verse 2.
Okay,
Let's
verse 2.
call out the verses so
Okay.
everybody knows where you're at.
Ha.
Now it's not Ha. Ha. You know, and the Ka.
Okay. Ha.
And all of the Tha, and all of
Hauka.
No, it would just be Than.
To be done. Just
Right, Than. And then the other one.
Sorry. What character is this?
Yeah, the talking about the beginning. That's the Tha.
That's
Got the little boot at the end. Yeah, the little boot at the end.
Right. Okay. Dot. Right.
The Ka don't have the boot. And then the Ha is as a missing piece at the top.
Right. Okay. That's what.
But they all.
Okay.
Kalaqua.
Kalaqua.
Right.
Kalaqua. Lash.
Right.
Lash. Lash.
But that's the Ba.
Right. Lash.
Baya.
Lash Ba. Yaha. Lash Baya.
Right.
Lash Baya.
Yeah,
Lash
Baya.
Okay. Lash Baya. Okay. Calm down. Okay. You got this out. We got this out. Okay. Wow. Okay. This is. Wagam. Okay. Wagam.
Okay, now this is one of the rough ones right here.
Yeah, this
is 6 characters. You gotta break it down.
Okay, this is.
Take your time, break it down.
Lam, lash.
Lasham.
Lasham.
3.
Lasham.
Now your second 3.
What? Let me break that. Wow. Oh, wait. Okay, wait, I got this. One. I got this. I got this. Hold on. 1 cup.
You're almost there. You putting other sounds that ain't there.
1.
It's simpler than you making it.
Let me put this together.
You saw what I sent you?
You just text me something?
Lashma.
Okay, you get everything. I'm trying to run all 6 of them together. Go Lasham and then hit the other.
Lasham na.
You missing one.
Lasham ma.
No, Lasham. Well, nah. Trying
Hey,
too hard.
Shalom for a second. For the people that's watching the actual, the class and everything like that, towards the end of class, we will mention those names that you want us to mention to send up prayers for, all right? So Salakia for the timing. We on a very tight schedule. So we will say those names at the end of the prayers, all right? Go ahead.
Lashmana.
Lasham Wana.
Lasham Nawa. Wana.
Right. That'll be just it on that. Okay. The next
is Ka.
What?
Kaya or
right,
Ka?
That's it.
Kaya?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lash. La.
Right.
La.
Okay. Next.
This is
Take your time.
the Ka.
No.
The Kataza.
No.
The Kataza. Katal.
Yeah. The Tazah.
Oh, okay,
look
the
similar.
Okay.
One has got a funky bottom to it. You know what I'm saying? And the other one, looks more like a Y.
Is that verse 2 still?
Right. Still verse 2.
Ka. That's Ka. This is 2 cars, but Ka. Kaya. All right.
Okay. Which?
I'm on this one here. Kaya.
The die.
Kadaya.
No, the die. Just the die.
The
die. Yeah.
The die.
Right. So.
Ma. Yeah.
Right. That's good.
Shit. This is fucking awesome.
Not a ma.
Ma.
No, not a ma. So ra.
The first, this is
right after Yahya.
I'm on this one.
No.
Maka.
You lost me where.
I'm right here. I don't want to start. Maka. Ka. That's Ma and Ka.
Okay.
Ma. Okay.
Okay.
That's
Ma.
Okay.
You would already went to that show.
I did.
Yeah, you already went to that.
Yeah. Take your time.
Yeah.
Come.
All right, take your time.
Yahya. Remember that?
Mahaya.
Did the Yahya? You just
Mahaya.
done that?
I did that? Okay.
Yeah. Then what's next?
Okay. This is Raya.
Right.
Okay. This is Aya. I'll.
Yes, I'll.
Taza.
Yes, I'll.
Akwaya. 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 Akwaya.
Okay.
Oh,
like the last word of two. The very last word of the second verse. No. You're at the very last word of the second verse.
The last word, second verse. That's what it is.
You at Rataza. That's where you at. The very last word.
The last word.
Verse 2. You down another verse.
I'm right here. Oh. Okay. Let me see. I got this. But Bataza. Panaya.
Okay, where are you at?
This.
Is that the last word for verse 2?
Rataza is the last word for verse 2.
Say it again.
Rataza is the last word for verse 2.
Come. Okay, can you do this? Okay, I'm right here. I don't take your time. Right here.
Where? No, you're going all the way down to like verse 5 and everything.
Well, what was it?
See what the numbers is at?
Come. 5.
And you down there, you in verse 5.
So wait.
Verse 3 is up
way up here?
Now you is way up in 2. This starts at 2, and then bang.
Oh, Slucky. Well, I jump all the way down there. Wait. Slucky. Well, I jump way down there. Okay, you good. Well, okay.
The last word of verse 2 is where you at.
Oh, okay, Slucky. Come. Oh, okay. This one, okay. Nash. Let's go.
Rataza, the last word, verse 2.
Right here? It's not.
No, that's something else. That's not even the last word. That's like the second word.
Right here.
Yeah, which is the second word for verse 2.
You right here or right here?
You have to come here.
Okay.
Right here and read from right to left.
You on this line? Or this line?
Okay. So this is where you at.
Right here?
Right there.
Come.
The word right there?
Yeah.
That's where you're at.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
That's where you was at.
Okay.
Yeah. I just got the last word left. I know it's a nice
All.
I'm not talking about that.
Y'all. How the The tza, hatza.
Yeah.
Hatza.
Rataza.
Watza.
That's the last words. That's all.
Watza.
All right. So you go ahead, Rob. You finish this off. What is that? Verse 3.
Verse 3. Yeah, we have verse 3 right now.
Actually, before you finish that, actually, finish it up. Finish it up. You go ahead.
Verse 3. Amal Awa.
So like you said, as an A-M, like Nama.
Right.
Yeah, means if. We just went over that last week. Go ahead.
Yamal Awa. Yam. Gasham. Rataza. Yarakwawa. Wow. Yapawa. Aitaza. Badara Wam. Wam. Bataza. Wam. Makwawa Wam. Shayap. Wow. Aitaza. Sham. Yahweh. Verse 4. Shamar. Rawak. La. Izariah. Wara. Bayabia. La. Yakwataza. War. Verse 5. Kashar. Ayanak. Ayadah. Darak. La. Tadai. Mayasha. Ahayam. Ashar. Yasha. Akal. Verse 6. Baba Kawar. Zarai. Zarai. Obai. Ra. Danah. Yadak. Kaya. Ayanak. Yawadai. Ayah. Zah. Yakashar. Azah. Awa. Zah. Wam. Shanyam. Kaka. Sawabyam. Verse 7. Wamato Wakwa. Awar. Asawa. Laya. Nayam. Larawa. Ashamash. That's it.
Most High in Christ. This way you can close this book, put that to the side, and I want you to grab this right here. I want you to read Ecclesiastes 11th chapter. So those two, great brothers read into the Hebrew, 7 verses in total, which is, absolutely traditional that we do every single Saturday as far as the Sabbath service. All right. So now we're going to get into Ecclesiastes 11th chapter and pretty much break down what we just read in the Tanakh. All right. Go ahead. Call out the name of the book, the chapter, and the verse.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1.
So like also too, I want every single officer to put their input on this script, on each and every script breakdown that me and Tarab did. You will understand what this first scripture is speaking about. But go ahead to verse 2.
Give a portion to 7, and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth.
So what is that initially he's talking about? Anybody?
Give a portion to 7, like.
You want to make sure that you raise your hand. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just.
Just speak out loud.
Yeah, it's like.
That's right. You want to say something, Rob?
Yeah, that portion to 7 or to 8. What this not really saying just a specific number. What it's saying is, give your bread liberally to your brothers. That's what it's really saying for real.
Mm-hmm.
Give your bread liberally to your brothers, because there's a scripture that also says alms deliver from death.
Mm-hmm.
The more that you give, you know what I'm saying, in your time of need.
Hey, little man, uncover your head. The water. Go ahead.
People will give to you.
Right.
The Most High will make a way, you know what I'm saying, for you, because you have been generous in giving to your brother.
Can Officer Akanagabar, which feast day can you relate this to, as far as giving back to your people? It's a feast day, and it talks about giving back to your people. Yes. It's a feast day that's related to giving your portion. That's a hint. Giving your portion to the less unfortunate. Just think about it. It's a feast day. It's not coming up. It's not next month. It's not the feast of dedication. I'll tell you that. Go ahead.
The feast of first fruits.
Give them that. That's it. You see what I'm saying? Because what you're doing is you're giving 10% of your, your finance. When I say finance, meaning like your, what is it called? Your farm, your stock.
That's your harvest.
Your harvest. There you go. Your harvest. And you giving it to the poor, the ones that don't have land.
Right.
The ones that don't have nothing at all. Also, too, there's a scripture that talks about be a father to the fatherless.
Dedication was also a day.
Or Second Maccabees.
Right.
Yes,
right.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Okay. That's right.
Portion of the ones.
I thought we was brothers. No, I'm fucking around with you. We'll go ahead.
We.
No. That's like. No. You. I was talking about.
Oh,
yeah. That's what. Yeah. Go ahead, Gerard.
We did that during that time, because at that time we were just dedicated. The Most High drove our enemies out. We was happy as hell.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We started, the people that didn't have us help. Just like Christ said, you always have the poor with you. So even when we're on top, we still got poor.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was distributed to them. We celebrated the rededication of the temple. Niggas decorated and niggas did, you know what I'm saying? Niggas just went off, you know what I'm saying?
No, they did.
Yeah, it was a pretty dope time for us,
No, you know what? I can really imagine I can only imagine just how it looked.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's just like how headquarters is just so decked out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or better yet, Chicago is decked out too. Like it's not the biggest building, but with the size that they have, it's so just decked out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man, you see what I'm saying? It's crazy. So I know exactly what you're talking about. And so, go ahead.
Just one thing right quick. I seen on Facebook or somebody had decked their house out in the feast of dedication. You know, like them lights that we be talking about.
Oh yeah, like
You know what I'm saying? They decked it out in that. But the thing about it is, because I'm thinking, you know, whether people will mistake that for Christmas or not, I don't know. Yeah.
No. I mean, there are Christmas lights that are
Right.
Christmas. You know, there are lights that are Christmas lights, but then there are lights that say something different. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
They just
it's
had
like a different vibe. You know?
right. They just had blue lights, but I mean, they made it known that it was for the feast of dedication. I don't know who did it. I don't know whether it was Israelites or what. But the Jewish people, they don't even really do that, do they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But they had to be some
crazy though.
brothers that came together and did that, you know.
Tons.
Or some people in the fake Israelite group or whatever. But I mean, the motive might have been a little bit on the right track. You know what I'm saying? But they, you know, they decorated their houses and everything, you know, such and such, and they had the lights all in there. And it looked looked smooth, you know.
Yeah. No. You know what? Hakeka Pasha had in his house where he had like I guess like mason jars with lights in them. Or something like that. Like
we decorated, put all the lights, the blue and the white lights, and the dark side. Yeah. We got that. You should have seen how it was before. I mean, you know, and then what did we turn it into? That was my whole idea was turning that and making it. I wanted to look like something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's something that's different, but it's like really inviting. It's cool, it's chill. You know what I mean?
That's why I wanted the white lights to go along with it, because I ain't gonna make it. You just leave it blue, and then it's gonna have a dark tint to it, like a club. You didn't want that. That's why I had to equalize it with the white lights going with it, so to have a powder blue look to it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's like having a red light. You know.
Right.
Everybody knows what the red light is.
And it make people look like demons.
That's true, but also too, a lot of people use the red light. You know, because I have lights in my room. You know what I'm saying? So a red light, you know, signifies. But anyway, let's move on.
Toward the south or toward the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be.
So what is that talking about? Once again, I want to hear from everybody.
Come. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 3. Mm-hmm. If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth.
Right.
So before you answer, he said, can you read it again? He's going to answer. Go ahead.
Come.
I want to give him a shout out.
Okay.
If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. Mm-hmm. And if the tree fall toward the south or towards the north, in the place where the tree falleth, mm-hmm. There it shall be. It's like that.
It's just make sure you take your time, all right?
Yeah, I got time. Like, that was the verse right there.
Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. You know, when the clouds is full of rain, they empty themselves, because what does the rain produce? It produces food. You know, and if the tree, read the part where they talk about the tree fall.
Come.
Actually, it's like, if you don't mind, can you go back to verse 2?
Okay.
Give a portion, Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 2. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8. For thou knowest not what the evil shall be upon thee, upon the earth. If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the tree fall toward the south or towards the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be.
Okay.
So we read
the south. The south has a lot to do with heat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the tree fall toward the south, and the fall toward the north has to do with cold.
It's like that.
It's all good. No, keep going.
Yeah, the south has to do, we would like to talk about, the south wind.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Talk about the south wind, and the north wind. because the south wind brings the heat, the north wind brings the cold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and whatever season it is, you know, that's just what it's gonna be. You know, and then when they talk and that rain, you know, I mean, think about it. If you're a dude that owns land, because we always been an agricultural people. You're a person that owns land, and you're liberal with what you got. Now you got the clouds full of rain and dropping and everything, right? So now what you getting is a harvest. The Most High use that to make your land grow. Your stuff in your land, your crops, and all of that. He could bless your crops. He probably ain't gonna bless you with dollars.
Right.
And you got to think about, you know, also the time to speak in here. Also, you know, he might bless you in your crops growing. Now you can sell your crops and get your dollars.
Right.
You know, and then when the trees falls in the south or the north, summertime or wintertime, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If it falls in the north, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be cold. So what you do is you get your harvest in and everything. You sow your seed, you scatter your goods out to 7 or 8 and everything. So when the time the tree falls in the north, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got enough. You got just like the Feast of Tabernacles was the time that you stored all your stuff into the storehouse. You know, there's no work during that time.
Mm-hmm.
There's no work during the winter time if you a farmer. You know, if you like, you know, a farmer, you know, growing crops and stuff like that, ain't nothing growing like that in the winter time. So what you do, you store everything away in your sheds and all of that, so you have time that you have things to eat during the time of the winter. Your family still, all your wood is cut. You know what I'm saying? All your wood is chopped. You know, all your goods and everything is in the storehouses, all of that stuff. So you good, you cold chilling, you know, during the time of the winter.
Right.
But if you don't scatter your stuff, set to 7 or 8, you could starve in that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could starve in that time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wasn't liberal. You wasn't. This is the real soul.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? This is the real soul.
God.
Making sure your brothers and everything is taken care of. That's the real soul. But what do black people taught in this kingdom? We taught to be super selfish.
Yeah, that's very true.
We're taught to be that.
God.
Ain't gonna give no nigga nothing about you know what I'm saying? We taught to be so selfish that it makes the heathen nations look righteous though.
God.
That's so messed up about it. They're selfish too.
God.
But in comparison to us, they look like they're righteous.
Yeah, it's a thing where it's just like, you know, I'm just only worried about me and my family, but nobody else.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. That type of thing.
It's the same thing where it's like, if you're in danger and someone else is in danger and they're trying to come to your place for safety, it's like, no, go back to where you came from. Well, nigga, I live in a whole different city. I just happen to be over here walking around, you see what I'm saying, and gunshots just popped up. I'm just trying to get some safety.
Right.
Please help me, sir.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Then when the tree fall in the south, you know, because this tree is almost used like a damn compass or something, you know, according to the scripture, you know, or not the compass, but showing you the season that's getting ready to come, rather. You know, almost like a prophetic, you know, season, because the south has to do with heat, which heat has to do with drought.
Right.
And drought has to do with the lack of crops, and it also has to do with famine.
God.
You know, so with the trees, and then, so, you know, if you distribute your bread out during those times, you know what I'm saying, then you can be taken care of in the bad times.
God.
To where until the bad times are over, till the storm is over.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you and your family survive.
God.
You know, just like with Joseph, that was a tree falling in the south. You know what I'm saying? During the time of Joseph, that was a tree falling in the south.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because what happens? A drought and heat, and you know, you talk about Africa. You know what I'm saying? And lack of crops, of famine. And Joseph was liberal, of course, with his bread.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why Pharaoh put him over everything. You know, he also too, what he did, just like in the damn desert.
Matter of fact, I want y'all to give him a hand. Because, everything that the brother has said goes into, once again, the Feast of Tabernacles. Hey, act like a human being, all right? Chill out. That's a couch, not a goddamn trampoline. So, yeah, everything that the brother has said was absolutely correct. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how it is. And that's reality, that's life, and and this is farmers' language. They know about all of this. Right. You see what I'm saying? So everything that he said was absolutely right. You know what I mean? That goes into the Feast of First Fruits. That goes to being a husbandman. A husbandman is just another biblical word, old word that just means a farmer. Someone that tills the land. Right. And on top of that, that goes into the Feast of Tabernacles as well, and a little bit of the Feast of Dedication, which is coming up December 9th. All right? Make sure that y'all get ready for that as well. But let's move on, because once again, crunch on time.
Chapter 11.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to keep saying it over and over again. Just say the verse, all right? So take your time.
Chapter 11. He that chapter 5. As thou knowest.
No. Verse 5. Verse 4.
Verse 4. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
Say that one more time.
He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
Now, once again, it's a lot. Can anybody besides Tarab tell me what does that mean based on everything that Tarab said, if you were listening? What does the next verse speak about? What is that saying? Because pretty much Tarab already have read this apparently, because he pretty much spoke about verse 4, 5, and even 6 without even reading it. What does verse 5 mean? I'm going to say like verse 4 mean. Go ahead.
I'm gonna try to give it a shot. I kind of think
just tell me what it means out.
He observed. Okay, when they say like when the wind, you don't sow seeds when they like when it's real windy, and then you don't reap your you don't like cut your vegetables and stuff when it's raining outside.
Right. Your harvest.
Your harvest, yeah.
Right. Your harvest, your crop, same thing. So that was it?
Yeah.
Kind of. What do you think, officer?
Yeah, I pretty much think that's it.
Say it again.
Let me read it again. What chapter was it?
It's chapter 11, verse 4.
Ecclesiastes 4.
He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
So y'all know? All right, no sweat. Well, look, hey, I need everybody to pay attention in class. All right? Once again, pay attention in class. This is why we're here. If you're going to be in class and not pay attention, you should not be here at all. I'll let that be known right now. Once again, all right? Go ahead. Actually, if you want to say something to Rob. And pretty much what Yakudah said was absolutely right, and pretty much what Tarab already said. But if you could, Tarab, if you want to, go ahead.
It's like when Christ cut the Pharisees and said, "You discern the face of the sky," but at the same time they can't see what's going on the earth. Mm-hmm. It's real similar to that. Talk about he who observeth the wind. If a person used the wind as an excuse not to sow, so it's best to go ahead and just sow anyway, even when the wind is pretty messed up.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's best to go ahead and just sow anyway. Because hell, say for instance, you're gonna harvest something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even with the wind being messed up, something's gonna, something's gonna happen. But if you do nothing, then nothing is gonna happen. There's 100% chance of that. And then what was the other part too with the wind?
He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
Right, he who regard the clouds is like, well, ain't no rain clouds, so I'm not going to sow. But who's to say it's not going to, Most High is not going to bless you with rain?
Right, and it's a lot of people don't mind because you off for a second. Hey, officer, get the word observe or observant, if you don't mind. Webster Dictionary, please. Baba Shah. And then, Tarab, can you get the word regarded in the Webster Dictionary as well?
Regarded?
Yeah, regard or regarded.
Or regarded. Oh.
Yeah, regarded. Yeah, it's based on the scripture.
Yeah,
And
definition?
Definition
of it?
Yes, Webster Dictionary though. Whether it's Google or the actual app. I usually have the app on my phone because I keep it handy just in case I can flip through this big ass book right here. But the reason why I'm having these brothers pull these words is because in order to understand what these key words are, you will understand the the entirety of this actual scripture, which makes it make more sense. All right. Go ahead, Woody.
Observe, notice or perceive something and register it as being significant. Right.
So based on what Tarap has said, being observant, of course, you see what I'm saying? You notice some things. You notice the weather. You notice the change. It's like you observing the weather based on you being a farmer. It's like a spirit of the weather. Like, okay, you know what? We have this many days, this much time to do this, to stack up on food, so we're good throughout this winter. And winter seems like a whole goddamn year, especially in Minnesota. It seems like a whole goddamn year. Good night. But of course, winter, it's like, what is that, like 4 or 5 months usually sometimes? It's, what is it, especially February, good night, it'd be freezing cold. You see what I'm saying? So read the definition one more time.
Notice or perceive something and register it as being significant.
Good night. Now, you got this word regarded?
Yeah, I could pop up as guard.
That's fine. It's the same thing. Okay. Same thing. Go ahead. I've noticed that too in my studies, the words. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I got consider or think of someone or something in a specific way.
So in that case, who are you thinking about? So at first you're being observant. You see what I'm saying? You're watching something, you're seeing something. As far as the weather, when it comes to your harvest and your crops. But as far as the word regard, read it one more time.
Consider or think of someone or something in a specific way.
There you go, consider. That word consider or think of. Who is this really talking about? Officer.
I want to say Israel.
Give him a hand. That's it. Once again, we talked about the selfish spirit, but at the same time, this is talking about us in a general way. This is who we must consider, our brothers and our sisters. See what I'm saying? Once again, like everything in the like GEN.YAHANNA was so right. Not saying that he's never he's wrong at all. He's never wrong, by the way. But man, GEN.YAHANNA's on point, boy. But one thing he said in one of his classes, he said that everywhere that you look in the Bible, it's nothing but love and brotherhood, and real love and brotherhood. If you want to get into the topic of the prophets, or better yet, the Most High, Yahweh, this Bible is filled with love, but it's not it's not the love that you hear about in the world. It's not the emotional love that people, perceive to be real love. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But this right here, this is feeding your people, man. And once again, we are going to get an official date coming up soon as far as that food drive. Is that correct? You see what I'm saying? And during this winter, we are going to make it our mission to still feed the homeless, which we have been doing. And it will have dead ass tired to make sure that our people are, taken care of. Because that's children playing video games or whatever that you like to do, just to make sure that our people are tawab and that they are straight. That's what's important. And good fucking night. This is a great chapter, man. A great chapter. All right? Keep going on this. Let's finish this up.
Verse 5. Thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child.
Good night. I think I just said something like that.
Right. That's
Oh,
a damn
damn.
word
Good
right
night.
there.
You know, it's like, I can read that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
good night.
You know what? Well,
Good night.
it's here. When they talk about, I know it's not how the bones grow. That's something to really think about. Because you think about like a little baby that's born, right? His little bones is all soft and everything like that. But next thing you know, he grow to be some 6'4". You know what I'm saying? Nigga that's dunking on everybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's kind of crazy. You think about it. How do the bones grow? You know what I'm saying? That's something serious to think about. Just like we don't know how the bones grow. We also don't know what the Most High will do in that time of that we're supposed to sow. We don't know. You know, the counsel of the Lord, certain things, of course, He keeps to Himself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why King David said.
I'll call you later.
That's why King David said, he didn't exercise himself in the things that are too high for him. And you're talking about the father of the wisest man, wisest king that ever lived, said that. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty deep.
Hey, make sure that you're safe on that road.
Oh, yeah.
And you see, it looks a little foggy out there. It's snow. I swear. All right, go ahead. Keep going now.
Even so thou knowest not the works of God, who maketh all.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's something to certainly consider. You think about how many planets is out there. You got planets, Saturn or something like that, that's only made of gas.
Yeah. I want to say probably Saturn and Venus, maybe.
Right, they're made of gas, and you got like Pluto.
How about what is Mars? Because I know
Mars
they say that NASA traveled to Mars before, but they say it takes up to a year to get to Mars. I don't know how true that is, but that just sounds insane to be in space for a year.
Right.
That sounds like a suicide mission.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I heard about it too. I heard about these talking about this a while back. But here's the funny thing about it.
Yeah.
They found that they was looking for life on Mars. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't think there is life, but I heard on some of the planets there's like some. They found they didn't find life, but I was watching the Discovery Channel, and they were saying that they found something on one of the planets where like it changes something about the Earth. So there's something on the planets that's eating at the planet. If that makes sense.
What you mean? You said something on each of the planets is eating?
No. It was okay. I'm thinking of Venus for some reason. I was watching the Discovery Channel as a child, and it stuck in my brain. There's a planet where NASA recorded the activity of the planet,
Right.
and they saw something moving on the actual planet, and they were saying something like it was kind of like a creature or something that was like eating at the planet, if that makes sense. So
feeding off the planet, pretty much.
Yes. So imagine like a cookie.
Right.
But you see that the cookie is losing its shape, in a way, or something is changing about it.
Right.
You know if you leave like a food out, it gets old.
Right.
Over time.
Right.
So something like that, if that makes sense.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know too much about it, but I just remember as a child that stuck in my mind. And I was like, that's very interesting. But I never went further into it. I just kind of accepted what it was on TV as a child. Right. But I didn't know if that was true or not.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You said it's changing so much so that it was changing the.
It's formed like you know how some planets have like a certain detail about itself.
Right.
Like you know how the moon have holes and shit.
Right.
It was like the moon, but it's like the moon holes closed up, to where it was like a solid circle, and you don't see no detail whatsoever. If that makes sense.
Right.
So yeah, it's like you want to say something good.
Did you say NASA?
NASA. Right.
No, master.
Good night, children. Good night. All right, go ahead. No. As far as Rob, if you want to add it on.
I do believe that these planets, in the time of the kingdom, we're gonna find a way to siphon the resources from these planets and bring them to Earth, because the Earth is gonna have to be rejuvenated.
Mm-hmm.
You think of all the stuff, earthquakes and everything's happening because a lot of times they sapping all the oil out of the earth, so the plates can't slide the way that they need to slide. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, that's like a machine. You don't oil the machine, and next thing you know, the machine gets all messed up and you know what I'm saying? You have to oil it, but they sapping all the oil out of the Esau, sapping all the oil out of the earth.
God.
And that's one of the reasons why earthquakes is happening. There's probably planets with all types of oil, all types of everything. We're gonna have space niggas that's probably gonna, you know what I'm saying? You know, it'll be niggas, you know what I'm saying? Going in there and bringing, you know, it's gonna be like a job, you know what I'm saying? Bringing, you know, tons and tons and tons of oil to the earth. And all the gases and all of that stuff just ain't out there for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know.
So like, you know, I did hear, you know, say something about pretty much like, you know, I mean, like for example, like we can't really imagine how the kingdom's gonna be because there are scriptures that talks about that, you know, it's pretty much like paraphrasing. You know, the Most High is going to give you something and show you something that's going to be just way over your head. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know, you might have your ideas on what the kingdom might look like to you, but the Most High is going to give you something far more than what you can ever imagine.
Right.
And you know what's so funny about that? Because that's not hard to believe as far as that statement, because when you think about it, the lives that we live outside of the truth, meaning in the world, it's like now coming into the truth, it's like you know, this is a whole different world, a different spirit, a whole mindset and life for you. And so just like, damn, you know, I would never imagine that I'll be in a room with 100 bunch of brothers and sisters and there's no fights breaking out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now a lot of people won't see that as a big deal. But where you grow up from, where you're from, that should be a big deal. Right. No one's shooting each other. No one's talking about each other in the back. Right. And, you know, that's the kingdom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's Mario Kart. You see what I'm saying? I would enjoy that. Because, you know, me, I love heights. You see what I'm saying? I love being, you know, at the school and looking at the view because we're high up. You know what I mean? It's fun. I love heights. I like to be in the air. Huh?
You might be a guy.
Hey, ain't no telling. Look, a lot of black people don't like heights at all. I love heights. I like roller coasters that's, you know, fucking millions tall, everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like that's just me. You know what I mean? You know, I might do some you know, I was telling somebody, brother, I was like, look, you know, I ain't trying to tempt the Lord, but I might just do some white boy bungee jumping. And they was like, yo, ass won't die. Or some skydiving. I'm just like, you know, it's fun. You know, I like heights. But anyway, long story short, you know, that was actually on point what you said. That was actually on point. But go ahead. If you want to add on, otherwise you go ahead and read.
No, you can go ahead.
All right, let's go ahead.
Verse 6. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thy hand. Mm-hmm. For thou knowest not whether it shall prosper either this or that, or whether they both shall be like God, like good.
Yeah, the morning is the time to put in your work, you know what I'm saying? When you're going agricultural wise, how, you know, how things used to be back in the day. We all twisted up now. Niggas is working third shift, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. Now second shift, third shift. But in reality, the work time is actually supposed to be from morning until evening. And the evening is the time you set back and you chill because your work is done. You know, read that again?
Mm-hmm. Verse 5. As thou knowest, 6. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening without hold not thy hand.
What is the Most High's favorite profession on the earth? You know how they try to say, prostitution is the oldest profession, and niggas believe that. What is the Most High's favorite, his favorite occupation? Does anybody know that? He have a favorite everything.
Yeah, he does. You mean like as far as what he's known for?
And not only that, what he likes the most. When he told him to till the land and
yes.
you know what I'm saying, and replenish the earth.
Yes.
That's farming. That's why he made us a nation of farmers, because that was abominable among like the Egyptians and all of that. That's one of the reasons why Joseph told Pharaoh them that we were farmers, because they looked at you like you was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. How people look at the Amish people today.
Right.
They look at us kind of similar to that, except we Negroes. You know, they hate us even more for it. They're like, yeah, okay, y'all can have y'all's own damn land. You look at it as dirty. If you was a farmer and everything, raising cows and sheep and goats and stuff like that, you was in the city, you was looked at as dirty. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to actually, but the farmers were cleaner than people in the damn city.
Yeah, DeAndre. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, but that's how they looked at you. The Most High, that's why he always uses seed time and harvest. He always uses farming metaphors. Always. Always. He uses, that's why he says, I'm the husbandman, of the vineyard. The husbandman is the ruler of the vineyard, the caretaker of the vineyard, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All of that. But the Egyptians couldn't see a thing like that because they were city people. Yeah. Their mind was too busy in the city. And if you was the type of nigga that dealt with cows and sheep and goats and all of that stuff, they like to eat them. Don't get that wrong. They ain't eat no cows because the Egyptians was on that same little, the cow stuff, the cow worship. So they ain't eat no cows. So they worship the cows. That's where the East Indians got it from.
Yeah.
They worship the cows and all of that. That's why, when it says, should we sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians so they would stone us? Remember, we was afraid at that time.
Yeah, come.
Because we were scared at that time because we figured the Egyptians would stone us because they would look at us as a blasphemous type of thing because of their gods.
Also, too, I remember learning in school. I'm sure this is true. I remember. I want to say it was guys that pretty much used to drink like cow's blood or some shit like that.
The Gadites?
I don't know.
No, that was them Africans used to do that.
Oh,
Africans,
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because all of them, they do that.
It was something about I mean, some people did not drink like the water, like the river water,
right,
or like the dams or anything like that, because something about it had spirits in the water, some weird shit. It's funny, like everything that you're saying, it reminds me of school, because just hearing certain stories and the textbooks and all that,
right,
and crazy ass movies and documentaries that they used to have us watch, but it was something about Africans drink cow blood.
Right, yeah. They do eat the blood clots. I've seen it on like
it was cow's blood and cow's I think cow's milk as well, maybe.
The cow's milk.
But the cow blood thing stuck out to me like that's disgusting,
Yeah.
But even cow's milk, because I'm lactose. But I was gonna say about that is they had said something about like the reason why they did it is because they chose blood as like being water versus actually drinking like water from the river, because they felt like there were spirits or something in the water. It was just weird. It was nonsense.
One of the reasons why they was doing it because it was taking on the life of the animal.
There you go.
That's what they do.
Thank you. Yeah,
taking on that life.
Yes.
Remember the scripture would say the life of all flesh is in the blood.
Yeah, the blood.
So you eat that, you take and drink that, you take on the life of that. That's why they drink. They eat the hearts of their enemies and stuff like that.
That's actually too. I mean, that's similar to Valentine's Day. Romulus and Remus.
Right.
Titus Puleo and Lucius Varenus.
Right.
Yeah. As far as how two gay lovers. They fought so hard for each other where one person was injured, and so they, the other person who's not injured went to go killed that enemy that hurt his lover and carved out the heart. That's where the heart comes from as far as Valentine's Day. And of course, the brothel with the World War I or II, the brothel is a whorehouse, a tattoo shop.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Like the Navy,
The Navy,
Shanghai, when they were Shanghai people
yes.
and all of
Yes.
that. Right.
Yep.
You know, that's but the Gadites did take on a whole lot of them Hamite customs. That's one of the reasons why you see them like, you look at like the Zulus and all of them, you know how they have the little fluffy things on their legs, and they be like no shirt on and tatted up and all of that stuff. They got that stuff from the Hamites because we were a covered people. We were covered. We had garments and stuff like that on. You know, we took on a whole lot of their ways. You know, the Gadites took on a whole lot of their ways. You know, obviously too. You know what I'm saying? Because the Gadites, you know, will have some of their own culture, but then have a lot of that Hamite culture, like the bristles. You know, like I'm talking about the bristles on the bottom of the legs, and they do the dances and stuff. That's Hamite. All of that is Hamite. You know, we be thinking, oh, that's Gad, that's Gad. That's not Gad. Gad was covered up, just like us. He was dressed with garments on, wore a belt. His nakedness wasn't showing. He ain't have no goddamn tattoos. None of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing any of that. And he wasn't running around with like face paint on and all of that stuff. Because you ain't supposed to print no markings on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Gad, you know, a lot of the Gadites went into Africa with us. Yeah. A lot of the Gadites did. That's how a lot of the Gadites got those customs and everything. And you know, so they were doing a whole lot of the Hamite stuff. Think about it. Look at like the people down in Brazil, the Amazon people. Yeah. You know, they got the damn, you know, the people, because what they are is actually runaway slaves. God. They didn't want to be up under the Portuguese and the Spanish and the Spanish and all of them. They ran into the thickets of the damn bush to get away from slavery. And what did they do? But they still had them Hamite customs. That's why they got the shit in their lip, the stuff in their lip, you know, all of that stuff down in there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they got them, you know, eating monkey meat with blowguns and all of that stuff. That stuff is Hamite stuff. It is. You know, I gotta say, they and up down there. Yeah, deadly bugs, animals. I mean, that was even fish that swim up in the hole of your was she rather and lay her eggs, and it stops your urinary tract. Yes, sir. I don't know what it is about that, because think about it. You got a person, you know what I'm saying, that's wading in the water going up to the waist. What would be the only hole? Either that or your butt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They swim up in your rod and lay their eggs up inside your bladder. Oh my God, good night. You know what I'm saying? And it stops your urinary tract so you can't pee and you die that way. Good night. All right, well, Slack. With that being said, let's move on. Good night.
Verse 7. Truly the light is sweet and a pleasant thing it is for the eyes to behold the sun.
Say that again. What you at verse 7?
Come.
Okay.
Good. Truly the light is sweet and a pleasant thing it is for the eyes to behold the sun.
Yes. For the eyes to behold the sun, because I mean, hell, the sun come up, that's what a nigga want to sit out on the porch and sit and chill, and you know what I'm saying? Everything looking all bright.
Verse 8. But
that was all of verse 7?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was another part of it.
Verse 8. But if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness.
Yes. Yes. So if a man, you know, is living in pleasure in life, you gotta remember the times when you didn't have that. That's where the celebrities mess up at. Right. The celebrities mess up because they don't remember when they was out there just like that brother that they sat there, you know, and talk bad about, like them brothers and everything. They talk bad about the suffering in the ghetto and all of that. That's why they don't really go back to the ghetto. Mm-hmm. That's why they don't go back and try to do anything. Hell, if they're scared of what's going to happen in the ghetto, you can just find somebody, hire somebody to send money. You know what I'm saying? You can find a skillful way to build up resources for your people. Even if you figure, well, if I go here, then they'll probably kill me. Just like that guy that Mo 3 and that dude, what is it, Bond, King Bond? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might be right. Maybe it's best for a celebrity not to live right in the hood. But what he could do is be skillful and still push resources to the hood. He can still do that. He can hire people to distribute resources. They're not the celebrities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He can hire people to deliver, to distribute, and they could be the leaders concerning that. They ain't got to give it to no goddamn Christian pastor or no politician or none of that. They can be the damn distributors. You know what I'm saying? Themselves. They can send out 6, 7 niggas, you know what I'm saying? Drop $1 million, $500 million, or whatever in each of them's hand, and they can find a skillful way, you know what I'm saying, to push resources inside the hood. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now niggas, inside that hood ain't so dependent on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're not so dependent on, working at McDonald's or something like that. That's what Jewish and all of them people, they do stuff like that. That's the reason why you ain't see, when's the last time you seen a Jewish man working at McDonald's?
In Minnesota, never. Or just, never seen
it. That's the type of stuff that they do. When you see them working in what seems to be a lower state job and everything, their position is certainly not the same as yours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't even have to have education like that. They can barely they can be in a situation where they can barely read. You know what I'm saying? But just because they're Jewish, they're going to get high up above you on that job. They're going to get high above you, and they're going to show that they're down with the team by trying to have you fired, trying to get rid of you.
No, you're absolutely right about that. But we did kind of go over as far as verse 8. That's so yeah, that was all 7 verses. So that being said, you know what to say?
Margin? Quan Haki Dam, right face east.
Imagine, that means every single body. Imagine. Get up and face the east. Make sure everybody's saying these prayers, all right? I want you to grab that horn, that's right. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Push this up.
It's all good. Don't sweat. It's all good. Go ahead. Go ahead, your prayers, yeah. That's SHALAM. You grab the scrolls. Me? Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's you. So, go ahead. And once again, let's read through this. Let's go.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Amanah.
Vashabayim.
Dash. Ka. Hawa. Lako. Barzak. Sha. Barakasa. Wa. Vashabayim. Thundernow. Lakam. Paul. Wam. Wasalak now. Wapi now. Wasalak now. Wapi now. Wala Tabayana. Banasai one. Abba. Oshana. Mayan.
Keep going up.
Right. Ya. Ka. Malaka. Wa Allah. Wa Par. Walay. Aman.
The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed.
Hallowed.
Thy kingdom come.
The kingdom
Thy
come.
will be done.
Thy will be done.
On earth.
Earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this
Our
day.
daily bread.
Our daily bread.
Forgive us of our debts.
Forgive us of our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
We forgive our debtors.
Lead us not into temptation.
Lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from
For
evil.
thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Amen.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. I said, ah.
I said, ah.
Ayani.
Ayani.
Alahari.
Alahari.
Ayani.
Ayani.
Ah. Zari.
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 Ayin.
Ayin.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Shah.
Shah.
Shemaya.
Shemaya.
Barakza.
Barakza.
Aniyatam.
Ayatam.
What?
Mawat.
Gawka.
Gawka.
Al Yanamam.
Ayatam.
Shmarka.
Shemaka.
Hana.
Hana.
La.
La.
Wam.
Wam.
Ah.
La.
Shan.
Shan.
Mar.
Shamar.
Shala.
Shad.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Marka.
Shemaka.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Zalka.
Zalka.
Ah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yanka.
Yanka.
Mum.
Mum.
Shmash.
Shmash.
Ah.
La.
Ka.
Ka.
Rak.
Rak.
Yala.
Ram.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Shmarka.
Shemaka.
Ka.
Ka.
Right.
Right.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Atnapash.
That's possible.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Shamar.
Shamar.
Zaka.
Zaka.
Wabawaka.
Wabawaka.
Mayata.
Right.
Why?
Right.
I will love.
Psalms 121 in the English. I lift up mine eyes.
I lift up my eyes
to the hills.
to the hills.
From whence comes my help?
Whence comes my help?
My help comes from the Lord.
My help from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
Made heaven and earth.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
that keepeth thee.
You keep it.
Do not slumber.
Do not slumber.
Behold,
Behold.
he that keepeth Israel.
You keep it Israel.
Shall not slumber nor
So
sleep.
neither slumber nor
The
sleep.
Lord is thy keeper.
Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Lord is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve thee
From all evil.
from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going
And thy
out.
coming in.
And thy coming
From
in.
this time forth.
This time forth.
He forevermore.
You forevermore. Prayer for the cock for power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh. Shah.
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 Dalanah.
Dalanah.
Ka.
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 Ah. Kalmakala.
Ka.
Kalmadawa.
Ka.
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 Tahar.
Ka.
Amatazariah.
Azariah.
Ka.
Ka.
Hakim.
Hakim.
Mati.
Mati.
Ka.
Ka.
Arakawa.
Akawa.
Atba'ala.
Azariah.
Garsha.
Garsha.
Hashem Yahweh. Shah.
Shah.
Waram.
Warama. The power in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Name Yahweh Shah.
Name Yahweh Shah.
Please give us the power.
Please give us power.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the leper.
Power to cleanse the leper.
Power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
Cast them out.
Name Yahweh Shah.
Name Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Prayer to bless Israel, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Shah.
Raklanah.
Raklanah.
Why Sharab?
Shalom.
Why Bayah?
Bayah.
Parts.
Word.
Rock.
Rock.
Pop.
Gun.
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 Gun. Say the name of the loved ones once, everybody repeats the name once.
I got a few names to start off with. It's like that we missed early in the class. It's like in the service. Let's see here. Sharon.
Sharon.
David.
David.
Malaya.
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 Staryala.
Staryala.
Zara.
Zara.
Kanagabar.
Kanagabar.
It's like that one brother. I'll talk to you about that a little bit later. But, give me a second. Somebody. Officer I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
Ramat.
Ramat.
Yawash.
Yawash.
From all.
From all.
Amangabar. Tim. Cliff. Tawala. All of Israel. I.S.U.P.K. Minneapolis.
I.S.U.P.K. Minneapolis.
Anybody else?
I.S.U.P.K. Minneapolis.
I.S.U.P.K. Minneapolis.
Amangabar. Rapaya Allah. Naya Allah. Now destroyer of Israel. Duh.
Go ahead. No, I'm just saying, like, you want to finish or you want to say something?
I'm good.
That's what, go ahead.
Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Hashem Yahweh Shah.
What am I?
Bless Israel in English. Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school.
In the school.
Bless Yahushua protect.
Bless Yahushua protect.
Loved ones.
Loved ones.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Let's go.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahai.
Alahai.
Al-Damiyah.
Al-Damiyah.
Al-Kaf. Al-Takarash.
Al-Rash.
Al-Tashkwa.
Al-Tashkwa.
GEN.YAHANNA. I.S.U.P.K.
Al-Wabi.
GEN.YAHANNA.
One.
Rash. Al-Imaka. Yariyama. Wad. Wayaka. Yatazawa. Al. Amarwa. Akawa. Wanakidam. Yaya. Wala. Yatakar. Sham. Rashal. Wad. Ya. Natazawa. Ba. Yakado. Al-Yaka. Barya. Yakarakwa. Alya. Wam. Wa. Shemad. Al-Yam. Mawab. Wagard. Ba. Aimawan. Aimalak. Shah. Ain. Shah. War. Dam. Ashawar. Dalawa. Mam. Ayawa. Zarwa. Banya. Sakama. Ashar. Marwa. Narasha. Now. Yawa. Alahaya. Alahaya. Shadamba. Gauka. Kwash. Panya. Rawaka. Kaash. Tabar. Yara. Wakalahaba. Talahat. Harim. Radama. Saraka. Babasa. Paka. Tabahala. Mala'ah. Banyaham. Palawan. Wabakashwa. Ka. Yahawa. Tabashwa. Waba'awa. Aida. Wakaparwa. Wabaga. Wadawa. Kayata. Shamka. Hawa. Baka. Ara. Yawan. Kawa. Aharakuza.
Psalms 83 in English. Keep out thy silence. O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still. O God. Below. Thy image for the tomb. They that hate thee. That lift up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consult against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come. Let's cut them off of being a nation. And the name of Israel. And no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together. One consent. They are confederate against thee. This tabernacle to Edom. The Ishmaelites. Moab. Bulgarians. The Baal. Ammon. Amalek. The Philistines inhabitants of Tyre. And so also join with them. That hope of the children of Lot. Salah. Known to them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. As the brook of Kisan. The spirits that endure. All the prisoners at Sabbath. And as the moon. Who said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession. Oh my God. Make it like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. As the flame set the mountain on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. And perish. That against them. Thy prophet. The teacher. The princes. The priests, and his like brothers, in the school, to use the curses, to punish destruction, to the heathen, to shake loose the treasure, of the rich of Israel, and refuse to give to the school, force their riches, to thy sanctuary, to use the curses, to punish destruction, to the Edomites, the nation, and instruct them, the court system, criticism, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, everlasting gods and armies, Roman Catholic Church, Pope, Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, the witchcraft, the space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airways, give access channel, the radio channel, and bring the spirit of Israelite people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction, for all the heathen, and stand in the way, and try to stop us, broadcast your word, throughout the planet Earth, bring us all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro, the earth consume them, when the plague shake the house of the thief, and the murder. May Yahweh Michael and Gabriel, God with flying saucers, against all the heathens that come against us, that speak thy word, cause we know my own. And it's the angels that have done it, cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world, cause them shake that they come. Maybe Yahweh Shai, you always, so be it. You want to grab that? All right, with that being said, that concludes the Sabbath service. All right, that being said, shalom.
Shalom.